Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I'm Commissioner Bill Elverman.
And I'm Jessica Klein.
And we are here at the finale of the National Equipment League Season 2. And we've got quite the event here for you, and the stakes could not be higher. We've got 3 people within 1.5 points of each other and 4 people within 3 points, all capable of taking home the championship, depending on how this event here today goes down. It's been a great competition, and in competition for the title here today are Mike Simon, Dirt Perfect, in first place with 14 points. Andrew Camarata in second place with 13 points. Chris Guins, also known as Let's Dig 18, in third place with 12.5 points. And Bryan Furnace in fourth place, the returning, and maybe for the last time we'll say this, reigning champion, in fourth place with 11 points. Brandon Shannon, Dirt, Grain, and Steel, he's also here, he's in 5th place, and Brenna Moore is here currently in 6th place. They'll be making runs today and looking to play spoiler because there's a lot that could happen with the point spread we have right now, depending on who finishes in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
It was just like last time. The 4th event, that was how we made it.
So sit back and let's jump in to event 4 in the finale of National Equipment League Season 2. We've set this up as the ultimate relay. A little heavy, a little compact, and another split scoring system meant to award both speed and smooth operation. Each competitor will hop in the all-new HD 130 dozer and push a pile of dirt over to that HX40A. They'll then use the mini excavator to scoop up enough dirt to fill a 5-gallon bucket. And then, when that's full, they'll hop out of the mini excavator and into the HL940A wheel loader, featuring its own 5-gallon bucket of water. Each competitor must then drive that machine around the course, and time will be called when they cross the finish line. Half of the points will be awarded based on speed, and the other half will be awarded based on the volume of water left in the bucket at the time of completion. The competitor with the highest combined score wins the event, and the competitor with the highest total points after 4 events will be crowned champion. I'm here with Brenna Moore, and first in the seat of our event 4 final relay, Bryan Furnace. Brenna and I are going to talk about it, and without further ado, let's see how this turns out. Bryan, on the count of 3, we're going to go! 1, 2, and 3! So Bryan, the first step of this here, he's got to push up enough dirt to get a scoop with that mini excavator. And he did a what we thought some people might do. They just tracked fast to get enough dirt within the reach of that mini excavator. And now he's gonna get a scoop. The question is he gonna put enough dirt in that to qualify for filling the bucket? You're good, you're good! So now Bryan will transition onto the wheel loader, and you'll see a 5-gallon bucket of water. Bryan's gonna pull either a U-turn or a reversing Y-turn here. We'll see which he chooses. And he's gonna go out onto our course now. The goal is to not tip the bucket of water. And contestants, again, will be judged one of 2 ways. One, by the speed with which they complete this course. The second, by the amount of water left in the bucket. Brenna, how has your time here at the National Equipment League been?
It has honestly been the time of my life.
A lot of fun?
It has been a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit about, I think one of the things that we were so impressed with was your work with Camp Build Her. Tell us a little bit about that and what you guys do with the industry.
So Camp Build Her was founded by Mercedes, and it was created to try to help 7th and 10th grade girls get interested in the trades. It's a lot of hands-on activities. I help instruct the excavator events, and they do things with carpentry. They actually built a bench and put it in one of the local parks and built toolboxes among some other things. So we're just trying to get them geared up and hope they get interested in getting in the trade someday.
That's awesome, Brenna. We've been happy to have you here. And here comes Bryan Furnace about to finish our first run here in event 4. And Bryan's gonna cross the finish line at 2:09. 2:09. But as we mentioned, that's only part of it. We'll now see how much water Bryan has left in his bucket. And Jess is gonna get Bryan's reaction as he gets out of the cab.
What do you think?
I mean, from a time standpoint, I think it was a really solid run. I think this one's really going to come down to how much water is in the bucket for that other half of the point. So we'll see what happens. But for the first one in this challenge, I feel like I laid a pretty good pace.
I like the strategy of coming in with the dozer and only scooping, doing the blade at the bottom there or at the end. And then you did great there. That was quick.
Thank you.
Nice run there. I think someone's going to dump the bucket. Do you think someone's going to dump the bucket?
The bucket's definitely going to... Are we talking the dirt bucket? Because the dump bucket... If someone decides to reverse, I'm going to call it right now. If someone decides they want to try to back up, the bucket's going out. But the dirt bucket is actually the one you got to worry about, and that's definitely going over at some point.
Nice. Well, we'll see. I can't wait. You did great. I will see what happens here. Up next, who do we got, Bill?
Well, Bryan Furnace set us off right with a starting time of 2:09. That seems fast and aggressive for the course. First time we've done this challenge. I'm going to ask you about that in a second, but let's see how Andrew does first.
Absolutely.
All right. We're ready to go, Andrew, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go! So Andrew, unlike you, Bryan, Andrew's getting just a good head of dirt, and he almost stopped short.
And that's what I was afraid of, is getting a little bit of a gouge that would slow you down. But he's still got a good pace.
He's hustling.
He's got a lot of dirt to choose from. Now the big question here is he going to get a big clump that's going to tip that bucket over? That was my fear on my run.
Andrew only has 1 speed, and
it is all out.
It is all. He doesn't have enough.
He's trying to break up those clumps because he doesn't want to flip the bucket over, but that's going to cost him on time.
Cost him a little time now, but it might save him time.
That's true.
In the hopes that he doesn't flip the bucket over. He's got a big clump there right at the front.
This is going to hurt.
All right, you're good.
All right. That's kind of an odd deal, because is the bucket technically full?
No, I'm going to count that as a full bucket. We're going to have to discuss the bucket left in the air. We'll figure that out.
Yes.
Andrew's
is a good call.
Up, and
he is
in the loader, and he is
off
moving.
To the races, getting a nice, slow, even start. That was one of the things I was trying to do as well. Nice, linear picking up of speed. That way you're not sloshing water everywhere. As little as possible, anyway.
He's already at 118. I think in this case, that little hiccup where he tried to get too big of a bite with the dozer at the beginning, and then like a toddler playing with his food with the mini excavator in the bucket, I think that's going to cost him time. He's already at 134.
So this is where, as competitors, you have to play the mental game, because we have the points within a point system.
Yep.
If you're not going to make the time, you almost have to go for the most water.
And that may be part of his strategy here in not going too fast in the loader, because he knows his way to get the most points maybe having the most amount of water left in that bucket.
And this final corner here is what really is going to determine it, because you're carrying a lot of speed. The machine wants to pick up a lot more speed as you're coming into a turn. It's going to be interesting to see how he finishes.
And as we saw in your run, that bucket slid back and forth. It stayed upright, but it slid back and forth.
Here he comes around the last
Here
bend.
he comes.
I see a lot of water pouring out.
His bucket is upright.
There it is. And it looks like he's got a decent amount of water still in the bucket. It's going to be good to see.
Time of 2:27 for Andrew Camarata, so he's behind you in speed. But let's see how he did in terms of volume of water.
$2.27. There's a lot of water in the bucket still. What do you think?
I'm glad the bucket's still standing, and not bad. I tried to take it a little easy.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think you did a good job. You had a lot of dirt there. Good scoop. I think it was a great run.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next.
All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens next. All right, good job. All right, we'll see what happens
Well, Chris Guins is standing next to me, which could only mean one thing. Who's in the cab?
Michael.
Oh, Chris wants to sit here and talk trash to Michael. So we're gonna let him do that. And we're gonna continue on with what's been an exciting event so far here at the Hyundai Product Center in Carnesville, Georgia. Michael Simon, are you ready, sir? No, I did not say go.
Michael.
Here, sorry. Premature, hold on, keep rolling. Premature. All right, I'm gonna say go, and then you're gonna go.
You should give him the countdown.
I'm gonna give him a countdown.
We need it, we'll get you a countdown.
All right, here we go. False start, but we're not gonna penalize you. All right.
He's eager.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go! So what do you think happened there? You got a little too excited there,
I think
Chris?
he was excited. He was ready to push some dirt.
See,
he's got a blade full this time.
He's got a blade full. And
we got our blade down. He's jumping out, heading to the Mini.
Boy, he can hustle when he wants to.
When he really wants to go, he can go.
I've seen him drinking all those Pepsis, kind of walking around a little slow.
All right, he's got a pretty good scoop there. It's fluffed up pretty good. Let's see how he does.
He's getting rid of some of those
He's getting rid of some of those bigger chunks there. We're going to shake that in there.
You're good.
All right, good.
All right. He's making good time. 35
go.
seconds out of the Mini into the wheel loader.
Now, I overheard the conversation. Is he going to try to go forward? Is he going to try to back up and turn around?
I think he was trying to get people. Look, he is sloshing a lot of water there at the beginning.
Let's go ahead and get that out from the start.
But he's making good time. He's at 50 seconds here. He made a tight circle around our little bucket.
He is chasing Jordan. Look at him go.
Run, Jordan, run. We love Jordan. We love all our production team. So what's your strategy going to be? And no one's going to hear you say this. How are you going to tackle this?
pretty much just doing exactly what they're doing. I just got to be faster doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is how fast can you get a pile of dirt, get from the Mini to the bucket, and then to the loader.
Time to be right now is 2:09. He's at 1:22.
Oh, he's fast.
But we know he's not going to mess around here. I bet you, I would wager that he can beat that 2:09 score.
It's going to come down to how much water is left in the bucket.
It is going to come down to that. And we saw him lose a lot of water at the beginning there.
But there's one thing I know about Mike, is he's competitive. So he is going to be giving it 110%.
He is competitive.
As long as he doesn't do 110% around this curve right here, we will find out.
We haven't had a tipped bucket yet, which would be
I
a
still
DQ. There's a lot of water coming out of that thing. I'm going to get in better position to hit time. Two minutes flat for Mike Simon.
Are you timing it at the front or back?
Front. As soon as that bucket hits the, yep. 2 minutes flat. Let's see how much water he's got left.
The bucket fell over, but. Oh, I'm just kidding. But I do think there's more water in the.
Dirt perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to say, sir?
So I am extremely confident in that run. If anybody beats me, hats off to him. I don't think I left anything on the table. We let all the water out of the bucket we could coming around through there, and it. Oh man, I don't know what else I could have done different. It was awesome. Mr. Let's Dig, if he wants it, he's going to have to earn it.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing else to that. So let's see what he's got.
Let's see.
Put his money where his mouth is.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. We've got Brandon up next.
Well, here in event 4, the action has been fast and furious so far, including a great run by Andrew Camarata. And Mike Simon just setting the speed record for this event so far with a 2-minute flat run. Andrew, I'm going to ask you about your run in just a second, but first, we're going to get Brandon Shannon of Dirt, Grain, and Steel ready to go. Brandon, are you ready, sir?
Yep.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go! So Andrew, what was your strategy as you went into this? What were you thinking with kind of each step of this?
What he's doing there by plowing a nice pile of loose dirt that's easy to scoop without the chunks, jumping from machines quickly.
You had one clump that kind of looked like it gave you problems, but you still had enough loose stuff to fill in the top of that bucket.
Yes, that was not something that I experienced while we were practicing, so I wasn't sure how how that counted, but it filled the bucket and it didn't tip over, so.
It worked out well, and no one has tipped either of the buckets yet.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're good, Brandon. Brandon jumping out at 43 seconds, so he's a little bit behind the pace of some of the other competitors at this point.
He's looking good though.
He is, he's looking good, he's moving fast, and immediately there, he loses a little bit of water. He is gonna back up and do a Y turn. He's trying something a little different. Oh, he's gonna try to cut short. No, he's just getting in a better position. He wanted to get that cost him some time there. The machine is positioned in a way he could have just driven forward, but it must have made him more comfortable.
You know, you could almost go real slow and not spill any water.
To try to get the top points for the.
That would be, you know, interesting strategy. Maybe that's his strategy.
And it could be.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of movement in that bucket right now. He's going at a conservative pace. He could definitely get that wheel over going faster than it is right now.
He's probably going to come back for a pretty full bucket if he keeps that speed up.
And I think that's what he realized. I think he realized that he might not be able to beat some of the speeds that you and others have put up, but maybe he can win with water volume. How was your time here this time, Ben Andrew?
Pretty good. I like how the competitions are set up.
We always enjoy having you out here, and yeah, the competitions have been entertaining and competitive, and we've got a UTV entirely potentially driving right in the middle of our track. You never know what's going to happen here at the Hyundai Product Center in Carnesville, Georgia. Brandon succeeded in not hitting anybody in the side-by-side. What, as you came around, this is one of the pieces of the course people have been worried about, this curve. What were your thoughts as you took this curve with the bucket and the bucket of water?
Well, my thoughts were not to slow down at all, because that'd be an easy, because you're leaning downhill, and if you slow down while doing that, it tip over real easy. So it's important to just keep the momentum at the very least through there.
Here comes Brandon. His time, he has picked up a little speed. His time is going to be a little better than we thought. We'll see how much water volume he has. Brandon playing the slow and steady wins the race game. He's going to cross the finish line at 3:05. 3:05. Now let's see if that strategy. No, he looks like he's in a similar spot as other folks on the water.
Yeah, it certainly does.
All right, Brandon, tell us how it went.
Just full send. These are fun. When you get to bounce from equipment to equipment, I really enjoy these competitions, you know, and I just took my time coming around with the loader, trying not to lose the water. Figured kind of make my speed up on pushing the dirt and loading it in the bucket and not tipping the bucket over, and took my time a little more with the water. So that was fun.
Well, it was a good strategy. You're in second for water. Time for the run was good too. So let's see how the others finish out. It's going to be a close run here, folks. You did a great run. I super enjoyed the gentleness of dropping the dirt into the bucket. I think you win for best feathering of dirt there. So wonderful.
Just trying to use the bucket teeth to kind of separate those bigger chunks. The bigger chunks are what falls in and knocks the bucket over. So if you can kind of screen it with the teeth, you got a better chance of not knocking the bucket over. So all strategies you learn along the way. You know, we learn every day. You know.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you here. It's been a great time. And here we go. We'll kick it off to the last two competitors.
It's a beautiful winter day here in Carnesville, Georgia. I'm gonna go full Pat Summerall right now, and the sun is starting to drop behind the hillside, and it's a beautiful day here, and I'm standing with Mike Simon, who right now stands to become the next National Equipment League champion. The only person that can mathematically beat you at this stage just so happens to be the man in the cab right now, Mr. Chris Guins, Let's Dig 18. What do you think about that before? We're icing the kicker right now.
We are.
What do you think about that before I give him the go?
Well, if there's anybody here that can do it, it's Chris.
It's Chris.
He's good at what he does.
He is very good at what he
But
does.
I put him in a position where he has no chance but to give it his all.
He's got to give it a.
He's got to give it all because he's playing from behind. He's got to play offense, not defense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident about my actual run. There's not much time left out there. The difference might be the water in the bucket, and then we still have one competitor left to go that could slide in there and mix up the standings.
But we can say confidently that if he finishes this run both slower and with less water than you will be the champion.
It's game over.
All right, with that, let's check in with Chris. Chris, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
No pressure here, but Mike just talked a whole lot of garbage.
I didn't hear a word, so I'm not worried.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and go! So more guys have gotten just a full head of steam here than I thought they would in terms of doing a full push with the dozer.
Yeah, I think part of the trick of getting a smooth transition into that bucket is actually having some loose material there.
Yeah.
It falls in a lot better with that style of setup. So really surprised nobody's knocked over the bucket yet. It's a lot tippier
you're
than
gonna
what.
Jinx him on a championship run. You're gonna jinx him.
Oh, look at that. Nope, he's got it.
Bucket down, go!
He's
31 seconds, he's in and out. Jordan, he's gonna be flying like a bat. Oh, he trips getting up in the cab.
We're off to the races. It's gonna be tight.
It is gonna be tight, and Chris did what a couple other competitors haven't done. He took just a second to make sure that wheel loader was in gear and where he wanted it. And now he's gonna fly.
Come on.
To finish out this run.
It might just come back to how much water.
It may come down to how much water's in that bucket. He's coming up onto that second level of the course at 1:10. Mike's time, to remind everybody, was 2 minutes flat. And the only way that Chris can beat Mike is if he finishes higher than him in both categories, speed
and time
and water volume.
Stopwatch is ticking.
It's ticking 1:35. I think he can do this in 25 seconds. Chris Guins, we're gonna stop the commentary and let the event play out here. Chris with a run of 156.
No way.
156. Let's go see how much water's in that bucket, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
didn't have to open the door to hear that one. Please tell me the bucket's still standing.
It's still standing.
There ain't a lot of water left in that.
Well, you know, when it comes down to time, time is money.
That's fantastic.
We'll let it sit.
That's a solid run.
My heart's jumping a little bit.
All right, Chris, that was fast. That was really fast. Tell me what your strategy was, what was going through your head. Tell me about it.
I didn't have much to lose, so I just put her down on the floor and just let it go. And I held on for the ride, and I made it all the way back to here. One piece, so I guess we'll find out here in a second who won.
Well, I will say for the record that you did beat Mike Simon, Mr. Dirt Perfect, in time. So I think you can hold on to that. I think that's big. That's a win for sure.
That's
so
a win for me.
We'll go to the measure, but you did great. It's been a blast having you here this time. Yeah, anything else you want to say about that run?
I appreciate the opportunity to come here. It's been a blast.
Awesome. All right. We've got one more competitor to go here, and then we'll get this wrapped up and give you a champion belt for your new National Equipment League champion.
Well, we're going to hold off on any coronations or crownings, but I think we're going to have a belt transfer take place here shortly. Mike, what do you say we let Brenna give it a go, and then we'll see where everything falls out?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. All right. Brenna, are you ready? On the count of 3, we're going to go. 1, 2, and 3. Brenna's getting her dozer in gear here. she's doing similar to a lot of you guys. They're getting a whole blade of dirt moved up to. Shoot, did she stop short?
I hope she made it far enough. I'll tell you what, Bill, overall though, she's been very impressive in this competition.
Yeah.
She has held her own very well with a tough group, and it's one thing to be the operating aspect, but then you have the competition aspect on top of it.
Yeah.
Makes for tough going, but she's definitely no slouch, that is for sure.
I think she's going to realize here that she stopped just a little short. She's going to track, and we're going to allow that. She's going to track to move just a little bit, get a little closer.
She did an excellent job of getting us some nice loose material, which makes filling that bucket so much easier.
Yeah, we know it had to be, this is our second event, and Brenna traveled farther than anyone else. She's come from Seattle, and it's got to be intimidating to come to an event like this with some, I'm not saying you guys are famous or anything, with some known entities like you and Chris.
Look at that, excellent job, excellent job.
Excellent form there. All right, Brenna, you're good.
She may have a competitive time here, Bill.
She may have a competitive time, and as we learned, she had the best looking rock, and we lost Jordan. Down goes Jordan. But Brenna's still up. Brenna's still up and running. Just like she had the best looking rock wall, she may have the most attention to finesse and detail here.
Absolutely,
she
absolutely
traverses the course. She could absolutely have a competitive time here.
She has competed with style. There's no doubt about that.
Oh,
Bill.
for sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
It's been another exciting season.
It has
getting ready to wind down to an end right here, Bill.
It's hard to believe that we're already at the end of another season.
Last competitor getting ready to cross the finish line.
But I think we have just the best ahead, and if I know who the next champion is going to be, I think he'll be anxious to defend that belt in season 3.
Season 3?
Season 3. I think this is a season 3.
And I'm guessing since season 2 was bigger and better, season 3 will be the same?
It will be. It will be. Brenna's coming along the course now. As you said, she's making good time. I think she's making determined strategy there not to spill water. I think she's going to go for a volume score here, but her time score is not going to be bad at all.
No.
Boy, that Hyundai wheel loader looks beautiful here.
The ride control on that loader is absolutely unbelievable. I think that's the reason any of us have come back with any water.
If there's one thing we've seen, no one's dumped a bucket yet, and that's because of that ride control. But here comes Brenna. She's got a good head of steam, and I see a lot of water in that bucket. 259! Oh, but did she lose a bunch of water there with that hard stop?
259. Nice!
That's one at a time.
Did she lose a lot of water with that stop?
No, she didn't.
It's gonna be fun.
Brenna, dear, that was amazing. That was a great, strong finish. You did awesome with the dozer, the excavator, the bucket, and that speed. That was great. Tell me how you felt about it.
I felt really good once I got in the loader. I got way too excited at the end and stopped abruptly when I got close to the guys. But other than that, I felt pretty good about my loader run.
Well, it was amazing having you here. It's been such a wonderful time. We're going to take a measure here on the water, but the water it's in a good place. You beat Mike Simon in the water, and I think definitely Chris. So we're going to see how that all plays out. So final standings are coming up next year. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to watch you operate, and you've inspired so many people, and we've had a lot of fun along the way. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Off to Bill.
So as we look at how event 4 broke out, Bryan Furnace actually won this event. He got 2 points for his time and 3 points for the volume of water, giving him first place with 5 points. Mike Simon and Chris Guins actually tied at 4 points apiece. And in our final top grouping there, Andrew Camarata was only able to come away with 2 points, Let's head back out to the field for the belt presentation and see how this affected our final standings. Well, here we are in golden hour at the Hyundai Product Center in Carnesville, Georgia, after another exhilarating National Equipment League event. We had 4 different events, 3 returning competitors, a returning champion, 3 new competitors, and I think we all agree that each of these events was a lot of fun. But it was a competition, and there are prizes to be given. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick moment to thank, first and foremost, Hyundai Construction Equipment North America. The Product Center here in Carnesville is amazing. All top of the line, new products, kind of a center of innovation here for testing out and checking out new gear. Hyundai, this would not be possible without you, and we're extremely grateful for taking the time and the resources to make this happen, as well as the great North American Hyundai dealers who have sponsored and work with many of the competitors you see here on stage. Thank you as well for your support. And we also need to acknowledge Triple Crown Products, who has produced the great gear that all of our competitors, crew members, and team members have worn throughout the event, as well as Blue Diamond Attachments, who has helped us with a little bit of the gamesmanship and some of the attachments you've seen in the competition here. And without further ado, we're going to take a quick minute here to talk about the top 3 winners of the National Equipment League Season 2. In 3rd place, our returning champion for the final time, we're going to say it, with 16 points, Bryan Furnace. In 2nd place, separated by a whopping 0.5 points, Chris, Let's Dig 18 Guins. And I already said Bryan Furnace's name. So that must mean that it is my pleasure and privilege to say, and new champion of the National Equipment League, Mike Simon, Dirt Perfect. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you, Bill.
Why don't we have a chat here real quick? Mike, what does it mean? This is the 2nd time we've done this. You're a competitive guy if I've ever met one. What does this mean? Jenna, Mrs. Dirt Perfect's here as well. Jenna, come on in. And I don't mind saying that. Her YouTube channel is Mrs. Dirt Perfect.
That's correct.
Jenna, why don't you come on in? And what does this mean to you? You're a competitive guy. There's a lot of friends here that you're competing against. 2 particular really now that you've built pretty good rivalries with. What does it mean to you to take this home?
It is awesome. I'd like to say, I don't know if this is the best of the best, but this is the cream of the crop, and it is awesome to come out here and showcase the skill and talent in our industry, because there is a lot of it. And to come out on top on this particular one is, it's awesome. I just missed it last time, learned from a few mistakes, made some tweaks, and here we are.
Well, like we told Bryan, the belt does come with a little bit of responsibility, and that means that you're going to have to come and defending sometime. Happy to. And I think there's some of these faces behind us here that are going to come back and take another crack at you too.
Absolutely.
As the sun sets on a beautiful winter day here in Carnesville, Georgia for the final time this season, thank you all for joining us. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. And we'll see you next time from Hyundai and the National Equipment League.